What's up guys, David joined by Ali here, and thanks for choosing to get your gaming news here at Livewire. Today we're jumping on the old rickety early 20th century hype train as we discuss the trailer Rockstar dropped today of Red Dead Redemption 2. We're going to have scene by scene analysis looking at the environment, the setting, and also we're going to try to figure out the characters and the story.
If you enjoyed the video, then remember to hit the like button and perhaps check out our Red Dead Redemption 2 playlist on YouTube here for more news and speculation.
Comment below your own thoughts on everything we have to say. We'd love to hear from you and have a little chat in the comments, even if you disagree with some of our speculation, because hey ho, it's speculation and that's what people do.
First off, PlayStation and Rockstar Games have announced a partnership. PS4 players will get first access to earn select online content in the vast open world of Red Dead Redemption 2. In addition to this, the PS3 classic Red Dead Redemption will be coming to the PlayStation Now store soon.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I might actually genuinely subscribe to PlayStation Now then. I can hear you can get like a free trial, so I may actually do that because I do want to play the game again. But it's lasts like 7 days, the free trial, so I'm thinking I could probably bash it out in 7 days, the whole game.
The story, I suppose, yeah. Just learn how
probably.
to master Deadeye, that's it. Okay, so our overall thoughts, starting off with scene 1, where we have our lonely cowboy. Nothing much to show from that, I suppose, apart from the fucking obvious of, holy shit, this game looks beautiful. Even if this is a cinematic or just an edit, like in-game editing perspective, it's beautiful. I mean, that is nice, like on a par of The Witcher 3, and God,
it's kind of like that. You know?
It's got, if it managed to do as well as it did, then well, contender for Game of the Year, Game of the Decade. Xboxes and PlayStations probably won't be able to load that, will they? When you think about it. Anyway,
get it on the PC. Never mind.
No, you can't. Oh shit, you can. I forgot. There's no point in me ripping the graphics. Anyway, moving on to the next scene, we've got sort of
finally we get to see animals. We've got the
exactly.
stags. Male stags, that's the male version of a deer, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say a stag. It's not. There's
science.
no such thing as a male stag. There's a stag and there's a doe. There's a difference.
Yeah, so that's cool. I really like it. I love that whole grassland. It's like beautiful. Then we kind of move on to finally get to see some cowboy farmland. It's kind of cool. That was like my favourite areas of Red Redemption. I always used to go into like the different farm ranches and just look around. So I always thought I wanted to be one of the guys that like worked on the ranch. I like to see, you get the farm animals there. You've got I don't even know what they are. They might be pigs, they might be sheep, I can't really tell. You also see some field mice down at the bottom there, like scuttling along the floor, so that's kind of cool as well. So you've also got these kind of forest areas. I really like the scene. See the way like the sun's coming down through the trees and like you can see the different rays. I think it's like so cool. I hope the game actually has stuff like that, but we don't know. Probably won't. But also, interestingly, I never seen this the first time when I watched it, but when you look back, you can also see like a sort of squirrel. I think it's a squirrel that gets eaten by like a grey fox as it comes into the screen there. And yeah, it's kind of cool just to see. I remember random events happening like that in game. And the last one where you just get random predators hunting stuff like that.
Oh look, a bear's killing a random NPC.
Nice.
Well, I'm not going to go near that because it's a bear.
Cool.
Anyway, going on from that, we continue to see the mountains expanding off again. You can see a long stretch of a shallow bed river. You can see a different time of day, so it sets a different tone and a different atmospheric look to it, where it's a lot colder, much more to the scenes of America with the overcast clouds and all that, either dawn or dusk. After talk of all those dark areas and all that stuff, we got something even darker, but obviously it's got more of a focal point in the fire in the middle of what looks like either part of an island or certainly an outcrop from the land that showcases the fact that it's partially surrounded by water, where it's sort of like a mini camp, which we could remember there being, I think, mini camps or how you saved your game in the previous one. But what really takes my breath away by this is the lighting effects. Even if it is a cinematic, you've got to appreciate it, but shit, that's a lot of stars.
Awesome. So more farmland. In the next scenes, we've got the horse carrying what looks like a deer that's been hunted by the guy on the left there. So
probably a doe, David. Actually, for
to
be specific.
A doe. Yeah, no,
no antlers.
No stag this time, so it's definitely a doe. We can confirm.
Exactly, doe's confirmed. Red Dead Redemption 2.
Confirmed in Red Dead. Yeah, who'd have thought? Something I think is cool about this is you've also got the deer or the doe on the back of the horse. Could that be maybe this time you have to, when you kill an animal, actually have to physically pick him up and bring him back to somewhere to sell it, or is it just going to be like the last one where you just skin it and it's like, oh, +1 meat and a pelt?
My infinitely deep Harry Potter style pockets have gained another animal carcass, and that never rots.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fantastic.
So in the last game, we obviously couldn't swim. That was like one of the most annoying things ever, because I'd always end up finding myself flying into the river on my horse and dying. So maybe this means you'll be allowed to go into the water a bit more. I mean, canoeing, I would never thought that would be in a game, but I'm all for it. So next scene then, what we got
We
then?
got the hype train chugging through the valley,
Choo-choo!
plowing over bison and making them extinct, just like it was meant to be. Which, interestingly, we believe anyway that bison were near extinct, if not extinct, in the Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah. What happened in that game was if you killed all the bison up in Blackwater, then you got this. I think it was like a trophy or achievement. It said like you had made them all go extinct, basically. And obviously, if we can see a bunch of them here, that means they aren't extinct yet, which could hint to a prequel. Am I right? Or am I clutching at straw here?
But even then, I mean, that's quite a few bison, and if they are close to endangered, although they wouldn't have known it back then, they would have known that they were rare and they're valuable, so they would have kept them locked up rather than let them roam on a train track.
Yeah, you've also got the I've noticed that you've got kind of baby. I don't know what you call baby bison, but you know, younger bison, which kind of could that mean you know, you get large animals that could mean more crafting materials from them, and you've got the smaller ones. I've seen people talking about how the smaller ones could be like trophy hunting, and if you kill the smaller one you get more money for it or whatever. I don't know, but just a thought.
Thought there, cool. Kill the young ones, they're worth more.
Yeah, they're kind of cool to have up on the wall, right? Okay, that was a bit weird.
Anyway, going to the next point, we can see the
Finally,
Worth's General Store, which, some lifelike things. I mean, just look at the ground before you look at the focal points. You can see, like, the attention to detail and how worn and trodden and muddy and puddled the ground is. Then go on to maybe look at that telegraph pole. You can see actually the wear and the knocks in it, as well as each cable. You can see depth in the shop instead of the items that may be behind it, as well as signs that are listing what they have. You see the people actually paying attention or not paying attention passively to the people that are going through the town, even though we don't see much of the wagon or what its contents could be for that matter. But we do see things like streetlights and that, so it's got to have some level of technology.
So you've also, what we've seen there was the horse and carriage, so it probably isn't any more advanced than the last game, because in the last game they were just finding out how cars worked basically, and you get the horse and carriage in the last game as well, so it kind of hints it's roughly the same time period. You've also got the random characters. Probably none of them really relevant to anything apart from maybe the guy in green. He looks maybe like he could be a character because he's just a bit more detailed than the rest, but I think the other ones are just like bystanders sort of thing.
Nah, I think it's the butcher. He's gonna be a serial killer.
Maybe, yeah. So that's obviously where you can also trade in your skins and your pelts and stuff here, because you can do that in the last one. And obviously buy food. I'm pretty sure you could buy like apples and stuff in the last one, and you could eat them and add to your health. I'm pretty sure that was a thing. So you've got the dog there as well. I've seen people talking about how it'd be good to have like a dog companion aspect. I mean, we've seen that with like Fallout and stuff. So that could be a thing.
Games. It's the decade of the dog and the decade of the bow. It feels in every fucking video game nowadays. It's a bit done for dead.
Dog companion confirmed. Yep.
Exactly. So there we go. Dog meat confirmed.
You also see as the carriage slowly moves out to the left there, you also see like a building under construction, and if you rewind it back a bit, there's also a guy on the right there going past like a bit of woods. So this town's obviously still under construction, so that kind of hints to the time period as well. But what we could say is the town itself is pretty bad. It's kind of worn down, as Ali said about the road and stuff, but also the buildings. The buildings are made of wood, similar to how they were in Armadillo, for example, in the last town. If you just compare that to like the Blackwater town, then you can see the difference. So this is the kind of town you're looking at here, as opposed to like the kind of newer established towns up in the north of the last
mortar and brick of British buildings and high class and all this stuff.
Yes,
and instead,
yes. Aristocracy and all that.
Okay. The redcoats are coming.
Big words, yeah. So
the Minutemen. Fallout confirmed again.
Fallout confirmed in Red Dead Redemption 2.
Anyway, moving on to the next scene, we can see a cowboy saddling up on his horse in a barn, which must be on a ranch of some sort, as you can see the cattle passing in front of him with the large foreboding mountains in front of him. I mean,
I really like the shot
from it. And it is like iconic.
Yeah. What you need to look out for here is the character himself is actually wearing a yellow jacket, and the horse has a white patch on its back. We'll talk about how that comes into play in just a little minute, but that's going to have some significance.
Well, as we go into the next scene, we've got more town life and animals. We get a crisscross here of everything. Horses, vultures of some sort, I'm guessing, or birds of prey anyway, a mongrel dog, a character who may actually be of some significance, because he may have shot what appears to be their eating, or just could be anything in together. If you look to the far left, you can also see people that seem to be sort of sitting around the town. I mean, before you even go into anything else, this town looks fucking shit. There's windows blown out, paint's crap. That's not even a road.
It's not a road, you're right, but it's more advanced than the last town, weirdly, because these buildings are actually made of brick as opposed to the last one's made of wood. Although it looks more run down, it's actually a more advanced town, which is kind of interesting. So I don't really know what you want to take from that. You've got the building on the left there. At first I was like, oh, it's just like someone having like a fire inside. Then I went, oh wait, hold on, that building's actually been on fire because of all the black smoke around it. And if you also look at the roof, there's like a big hole in it as well. So that I don't know if
by
that
lightning, or maybe a bandit raid, or maybe it was us that did the bandit raid. You never know.
I'm sure we'll find out. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. Again, you've got the horse and the carriage again, saying that no signs of a car yet, even in this town, which is presumably a more like advanced town than the last one, as I just said. So still no cars.
On the next scene, we can see the same guy from the last scene who got on his horse, the same yellow jacket and some horse markings. Also seeing David. I don't know how the fuck you're able to tell that in this pitch black scene.
Ah, you can tell.
Okay.
You can clearly see the horse there, and it's got the white on the back and all that. 100% confirmed.
Okay. As we can see, he's going towards a fire, which the question, I suppose, is what is on fire, besides how atmospheric and nice looking the scene looks with the overhanging full moon and all that. But it does look like a factory or production area, as you can see slightly to the right to the middle of the screen. You can see stacked chimneys of some sort, so that makes me think it's a factory area. We thought it might be maybe a coal plant, because didn't know if oil prospecting was a thing at this point, because obviously we have no idea the time period. But the sort of structures or the struts that are shooting up out of the ground look more like old oil wells than they do anything to do with coal. But why he's going towards it raises a question. Was he affiliated with it? Is he inspecting it? Are we that guy? Is he our enemy? Christ, the questions go on.
I guess that's all up for speculation, so if you want to comment, because this is obviously quite a major part of the trailer, so if you want to comment below what you think it might be and have a guess at what's on fire, or maybe why, and what the results of that is, then let us know in the comments. This next scene is basically what I'd say like the most important one of them all, in terms of like characters and whatnot, and trying to guess if it's a prequel and stuff, because everyone's been trying to guess whether or not it's a prequel, and by doing that, looking at the different characters, and again, this is still again hard to see what characters these are, but there's 7 characters here. Obviously, you can confirm it. There were 7 characters in the artwork as well that was teased earlier on in the week, so everyone's presuming that these 7 characters are the same 7 characters from the artwork. What we can kind of see from that, if I'll bring up the picture of the artwork as well, it's none of these characters look really the exact same as the ones in the artwork. So could that maybe, if it is them, could that maybe confirm there's a bit of character customization in there, how you can kind of adjust how they look, the different hats that they wear, because if you look, some of the hats just are not the same. But obviously everyone's been saying that this is Dutch's old gang, but if it was to be Dutch's old gang, it would need to include Bill Williamson, Javier Escuela, John Marston, Abigail Marston, and obviously Dutch himself. It was always presumed from the last game that there were more in the gang, so that could maybe explain why there's another 2 characters there in the scene as well.
I mean, the last game was set quite far in the future. Not all of them were as young as John Marston, so some of them succumbed to other ways of dying, whether it was age or getting killed by someone else. It's believable. You get the same guy from the last scene in the middle leading the gang or posse, which we'd have to presume if we're going along with the prequel sort of idea that it is Dutch. And people are speculating that it's Abigail, who is on the far right in yellow, as it's the only female in the scene, which would make sense, but at the same time, it's like,
it's so hard to tell.
What if it's not a prequel altogether? What if it's just set in the same universe, and these are your gang, and it's all completely customizable, like a new set of characters?
I have a feeling this is a prequel. Like,
yeah, there's a reason why everyone seems to be thinking it, and David's hunches tend to be good. 3 days before this video came out, before even the fucking picture changed on the Rockstar Twitter page and all that, David said, bet you one comes out by Thursday. A second that came out, and fuck me, it did.
It's basically because I work for Rockstar, you see, so you know, inside knowledge.
As well as NASA.
Yeah, NASA in the day job, and Rockstar night job. Oh, cool.
Exactly. I mean, I suppose the real question by looking at this, getting off our rambling, is which one's John? He is in this, right? Surely has to be. Bear in mind, if this is a prequel...
If it is the prequel, then John would have to be in it.
He's gonna be a lot younger, maybe less fucked up on the face, hopefully. It was ugly to look at for every cutscene. Yeah,
the artwork, you could kind of basically tell John was on the far left. I'll bring that up just now as well. Like, I seen that and I was like, oh, there's John. That's like definitely in the game. But when you look at these ones, it's like, well, obviously we all know how John dressed, and we had that kind of half shirt, like half sleeves up, half down look, and none of these have that. So obviously character customization again, or obviously you didn't wear the same outfit for the next 20 years.
I mean, that's what I was about to say, but this is a video game, so let's not put too much fuel on the fire.
It's so hard to tell. I mean, they're all wearing the bandanas as well, and obviously you'd expect Javier Escuela, and we all remember him having that big sombrero, but potentially
Really
they
couldn't
took
get
it off.
from the name.
He took off the, maybe they deliberately took off the hat, because I mean, if you see a guy with a big sombrero, you're going to think, oh, that's definitely the gang then. So potentially they're still trying to tease it a little bit more, so they're still teasing it in the actual announcement teaser. It's like, what is going on here? It's so hard to tell.
And if you think he isn't there, then you're just being racist, because he doesn't need to wear a sombrero all the time just because he's Mexican. That's racist for you thinking that. I suppose. Which one is Bill Williamson as well? I mean, we know from his weirdly shaped hat, the same hat we see in the artwork, but no character is wearing the same hat in this scene. Maybe that means this scene is like at the very beginning of the game when they first start, before they first define their look and their character, which would make sense, because that happens in a lot of games in the past, and it's how they hide characters from the limelight anyway, and like sort of keep it under hush until close to the time when they can reveal more important story-based trailers, or give them away to interviewers, or data mines and hacks from hackers. Realistically, that's where 90% of this is going to come from. It's Rockstar, isn't it? They're worse than BioWare for holding out Mass Effect for me. They're fucking
2,000 years later.
As again, this is all speculation. It is really hard to tell from just such a quick scene like that. And again, they're all wearing bandanas and the lighting on the hats. It's just Rockstar have deliberately made it impossible to tell who they are. One of the other main things in the trailer was obviously what the guy said. He said, "Listen to me. When the time comes, you gotta run and don't look back. This is over." And then he cuts to the scene, and then they all run. So you gotta think, who was it that said it? You'd presume it was Dutch. If we're going with this whole, it's Dutch's old gang, you'd presume it was Dutch that said that, because he is like the main guy in the gang.
I know. I mean, what is over? The gang they were in? Are they talking about the last botched robbery that made them split up? If so, John was left for dead, no pun intended, at the scene, so he wouldn't be part of that scene of them running. So who is it? Another betrayer that come into the fold,
it's
Abigail's new man?
Oh, maybe.
I mean, presuming that's what the last scene was about, and presuming that's what the context of the words that got said very ominously were all about.
Again, it's all just speculation. No one actually knows what the hell's going on here, but we all like to dream and pretend that we do. So that's kind of all the analysis and speculation we have for you so far. There's still so much to know before we can guess the story, but it's looking more and more like a prequel to Red Dead Redemption 1.
If you enjoy the video, then at some point drop us a like and subscribe if you're new.
Or just take a look at some of the stuff here that we do at Livewire. Once again, thanks for watching. If you're new, please consider subscribing, and we'll see you in the next one.